Hi, my name's Keith and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man. And today I'm going to be talking to you all about God's plan and how you're on it. A lot of people don't realize that they're already on God's plan, and they basically form plans in their life around thinking that there's some kind of external plan when the plan is internal as well. In this video, I'll be using some examples that might apply to your life directly to the viewer watching my video, and this will actually prompt some extreme change into your life. A lot of people, once they realize that their life is already on God's plan, everything changes because people start acting differently. Because I see a lot of people who are not doing anything. And if you hear stuff in the background, the beach is pretty full today. There's a lot of people. One thing I see people do is that they'll just flat out say, okay, I'm not going to do anything. I won't act. I won't do anything at all because God has a plan for me. I won't do anything. Well, that's what takes you off of God's plan. That's what takes you off the path. That means you're already in the plan, but the next part of the plan is for you to learn. For you to learn that anything you desire, anything you want, needs a little bit of action. It needs a little bit of spice. It needs a little bit of speed and heat. To bake a cookie, you have to stick it in the oven, but you also have to heat the oven up too. You also have to watch the cookies too, so you'll watch your behavior. The oven's the heat, so it's basically a recipe. So how are we supposed to make plans? We're supposed to do our part and put in the action towards a goal that we desire, a goal that we strive for, a goal that we succeed. But when it comes to what's a part of God's plan, the thing is, we can't imagine that. We just can't. He knows what we're like before we're born. He knows what our entire life is like before anything happens. But he sits back and watches because we are co-creating our existence. The word is co-creator. We are co-creators. We get up out of bed and we decide what we desire to do in the day. That's our free will. That's the gift of life. A lot of spirits are in the afterlife wishing they could have utilized it differently. Now, I know some people, if you hear the cheering in the background, they're cheering for the video. Amen. A lot of people are very stubborn, are not willing to move, are not willing to change, are not willing to make any aspect different about their life to upgrade themselves because they think what they have works. It sounds a little mean, but for people who are so stuck in their ways, if what you knew worked, you'd be in the place you desire versus the place that you're stuck in right now. So it takes a lot of humility. And yeah, that really hurts some people. Some people are like, wow, you can't say that to me. No one's ever said that to me before. No one's ever said that ever to me before. Too bad. You need to hear it, and it's something you're going to hear. On my YouTube channel, you get truth. You're not going to get anything sugar-coated. So what I say is very harsh, but what's harsh? Living 10 years of your life and not seeing a single change? Or someone telling you something that no one's ever said to you before, and I might have to walk further down the beach because people are yelling and screaming. I hope you guys can't hear that in the video, although I've played back some of my videos before and you guys haven't heard kids screaming in the video, and you've just seen me laughing in the video and kids screaming like seagulls, and I'm just like, can they hear this? But and that's actually a part of my YouTube videos too, is me accepting that this is my natural form. This is not me pre-preparing a video. This is me speaking from my heart and speaking from my soul and from my mind. They come together as a collaborative. I really hope you guys can't hear what's being said. I'm gonna walk down there. But when it comes to being on God's plan, sometimes the plan requires heat. And a lot of people, like I said, are stuck in their ways. They don't want to change. And what they have in their life doesn't work for their life. And they're not willing to change, but they're not willing to accept that they're wrong either. Sometimes as humans, we have to go to a full stop, like a halting screech to a stop, to just stop whatever we're doing. And for people I care about, I put the most amount of pressure on them to grow. And I see people who I put pressure on to grow make tremendous progress. Like, no one even recognizes them because they've made so much tremendous progress. And this is a nice little spot over here. It's full of moths, but this is full of moths. It's just a beautiful spot to do my video. It's very comfortable with some flowers here. But the thing is, a lot of people are just not willing to change. And That's a part of God's plan, is for people to be willing to change. Now, the next part of this video I'm going to talk about, some people are just waiting on something special to come along. Ooh, and this sometimes it does happen like that, but sometimes if you're waiting for this random opportunity to come along, then you just have to put in a little more action, because life is kind of like it follows the law of mathematics, and it's like a chemical equation. It's like a formula. When you do a little more will happen. When you, let's just say, because people will start their small business, but they don't want, they thought that was it. Like, they just start it and then it runs itself, and then one day they'll just kind of take off. But you have to do videos every single day. It's all about consistency. So there are certain YouTubers I've seen who have no business being famous, but they're famous because they just did it for so long, and that's their success. And they just know that just because they were consistent put them in the position. So consistency is key. So start putting in action. If you're not seeing whatever you're having right now, if it's not what you desire, then put in a little more action. If you're doing the most you possibly can do, and honestly the most you possibly can do, and I'm getting moths flying at me now, so I'll walk down there a little more, and there's a shoe. Oh, how awesome. There's some cats in these bushes too that kind of, they think they're a big cat because they kind of try to sneak up on me in videos. I'll show you the cats in the videos if they try to sneak up on me, but it's very interesting. It's very Florida. But sometimes you just have to make adjustments to your plan, adjustments to your life, and just realize that being a co-creator in our reality and in co-creation, because sometimes people are like, I'm not doing, and this is one thing I see the most, is people are like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just gonna let God do everything. I'll sit back. I don't have to do anything. I'm just gonna pray. Well, if you read the Bible says just prayer alone doesn't do it. It doesn't do it. Faith without works is dead. Second you put in works and you have the faith, you'll be in a different reality. In a whole different reality. So some people, and I've made tremendous progress on my YouTube in the past year, on my TikTok in the past year, just on my social media platforms. Instagram, I barely post on Instagram because I've seen something. So I prefer YouTube and TikTok. But people are like, oh, you're lucky you have all those followers out of nowhere. It's because I'm consistent. I upload 7, 8 videos a day, 9 videos, 10 videos sometimes, and I don't miss a single day. Like, I'm very consistent. It's a part of me putting in the effort to see change, and I'm seeing change. I'm seeing followers. For people who I've seen start their YouTubes and they're like, well, it has 1 subscriber and that's me. It's because you never told anyone you had a YouTube. You never did it every day. The consistency is part of the plan. Sometimes, and you want to be on the right side of the plan. So if you're fighting the plan, you're still a part of the plan, but you're still a part of the learning aspect. You're still a part of the lessons aspect. If you don't want it to just be lessons, then put in more work towards progressing. You have to do, that's why I teach shadow work so heavily. It's because you have to evaluate yourself. What's not working? What's working out for me? You have to, the one thing I see that's really, really bad is a lot of people will put words in God's mouth. And this is one reason I don't like Instagram as much, is because you'll see a post that says, God said you don't have to do anything today, just pray. I'm like, okay, where did he say that? In what scripture did he say that? Because I know you guys know what I'm talking about. And then people get this ideology, this mental habits of, okay, I'll hope and I'll hope and I'll hope. But when you start putting in some action, for example, people who want to win lottery and they don't ever play a scratch off because they're afraid to lose, versus you might lose 1 or 2 times, but then you're just freakishly lucky. Like, you might not even lose when you play your first scratch off ticket. You might just win big on the first one, but you thought it was in your plan for someone like to bring you a scratch off, etc. Action is key, but when it comes to action, it's a part of our free will to do that. So to find out where you're on in God's plan, you're either on the learning aspect or you're on the progression aspect. Sometimes there's an aspect of the plan of patience. So like I said, if you did everything you could possibly do, if you put in every aspect of every ounce of work that you have put in and you can't do anything more, sometimes you just have to wait, self-evaluate, and meditate. So meditate on things you should not be doing. And I taught a video about meditation yesterday. So if your plan requires you not talking and not telling anyone anything about your, maybe just that one friend you have, but if that's it, if that's all you have to do is just wait, then practice waiting. Practice keeping yourself busy with other things. Find a hobby, find different things that progress towards you. Now, if a part of the plan is you, and here's the thing, if you don't know where you're on the plan, like I don't know if I'm in the lessons aspect, I don't know if I'm in the patience aspect, I don't know if I should be putting in more work, all you have to do is ask God, please show me where I can improve. Make it freakishly obvious. Every time I make a good point, the people start cheering down there. So it goes together with the video. But just ask for things to be obvious, like freakishly obvious. Hey, God, please, can you put it in my face as a sign? Like, if maybe you can do this. Okay, here's a little cool thing you guys can do. This is the interactive part of the video. And write 3 things down that you possibly should do, and you're not really sure. And this is a cool thing you can do with angel numbers. If you think you should put in more action towards your plan, and maybe you're just a little bit too laid back, write down the number 555. If you feel like you should be reaching out and branching out with people more, write down the number 666. If you feel like, let's just say, you need to be a little more patient and work on self-patience and just yourself, 777. If you feel like you need to work on your wealth more and your financial abundance, because society really trains us out of just fully not being financially abundant. Like these songs about being broke and lonely, it's just like, you wonder why I teach so many abundance videos. It's because people are being poisoned. So write down 888. If you feel like that, here's a good one. If you feel like it's your time, like you've been sitting for too long, and now is a time to make the accomplishment, like your accomplishment's almost done, and it's nearby, write down the numbers 999. Now pray and ask, God, can you please show me one of these or more than one of these numbers? And make sure you're writing it down too, so when you see the numbers, you recognize it, and then that tells you what you need to do. So if you need to put more action in, then you'll see the 5s. If you see that you need to branch out more, the 6s. Then if you need to be a little more patient and meditate on what you need to do just to stay patient or to keep yourself busy, the 7s. If you need to work more on your financial abundance, maybe do some of the rituals that I taught you that make just financial abundance flood into your life, then 8s. 9s is, maybe you're just really close to where you need to be, but you need to put in just a heavy amount of action, then 9. After you do that, you'll see the numbers that you really desire, that are really gonna help you get to the goal of where you want to be. And at that point, you don't have an excuse, because you'll probably pause the video and you look over and you'll see the clock 11:11. That basically means, okay, I'll do the 1s too. If the 1s are basically, you need to do a full, like a flat out 3, you'll just need to do a 360 and just fully start over again. And yes, I just spun around. You'll just need to do a 360 on whatever you're doing and just go backwards to go forwards. If you're seeing 2s, it could mean that you need to communicate more with a friend. It could mean that maybe you might need some extra help from like advice, etc. If you're seeing 3s, it could imply that you need to be working on yourself at home. These are just examples, and this is going to get you kickstarted on whatever you should be doing, because action is how you get a reaction out of the dynamic mechanism of the universe. So people, like I said, I made a different video about what's the difference between the universe and the differences between God. God created the universe, and the universe is a mechanism that operates on certain spiritual laws and physical laws. So to make the universe work in your favor, you can do certain things that kind of propel things into where you want to be. This is a really good video, because after this, I would like you guys to write everything down. If you want me to finish it, okay, if you're seeing 4s, and yeah, I hope you guys have your pen and notepad out. If you're seeing 4s, it basically means you need to establish more stability, and you need to secure some of your opportunities, because they're all over the place. Because that's the case with some people. So I did 1 through, I did 1 through, if you're seeing 10s, it means you're basically, if you're seeing 10 or just 10s, because I'm supposed to do 1 through 9, but if you're seeing 10s, it basically means, okay, make a new goal. If you're seeing 9s, okay, make a new goal. You can assign your own meanings to these, but this can help you decide where you're at, because we don't really know what's in God's plan. We can't comprehend his understanding. All we can do is trust in him. Like, for example, when he moves you guys around sometimes some people will be like, oh, why do I have to move now? It's basically because you're getting upgraded through spiritual power. Your abundance is going to be multiplied times 100, etc. Just, there's different aspects about where you're at in God's plan, but you have to understand that you have to take action yourself. And I gave you some cool ways as to how you can find out what you can do next to progress your part in God's plan as well, because a lot of people don't even realize they're on God's plan and they don't know what to do, so they just don't do anything. Doing nothing gets you nothing. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments section. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.